For example, we're going to talk a little bit about the companies. They use too much water and they don't think about the future and the problem they produce to our people. Like the food and big beverage industry is a 5 trillion one. The stakes are high, and water scarcity can adversely affect the reputation of a company depending on how they manage water. There could be spikes in procurement and operating costs. Big beverage companies are finally waking up and smelling the coffee. General Mills, Coca-Cola Company, Molson Coors, Big Wine, and Campbell Soup Company are the big beverage companies. They have done something about it.
Good night. The planet continually remains use winning primarily extreme droughts that with its weather there is not a life. Um, this resource is essentially not only for the survival of the living being that inhabit it, but also for socio-economic development, energy product, or adapting or to climate change. However, today we are facing an enormous challenge. The pollution of rivers, stays of sand, canals, lakes, and reservoirs.
Good evening, teacher. Our team, we want to talk a little bit about the water scarcity issue. These are really important because we don't take care too much about the water. Like example, when we wash our car, we use too much water. We don't save nothing, and when we take a bath, we spend too much time in the bed taking up in the bathroom, and that's a real problem because in the future it's going to be a little big problem because we're not going to have water. Like when we watch a glassy soft drink ad on TV, our first thought has probably to do something with the quality of the commercial. A comfortable second about the taste, flavors, and a wonder about the artificial flavoring, but we never stop to consider how much water goes into making a bottle of cola. And get this is one of the most pressing questions facing the beverage sector today. Like the according the water to the food prime network on a average, it takes at least 170 liters of water to produce zero point 0.5 liters of soda, 30 liters of water to produce 1 liter of beer, and 140 liters of water to produce the ingredients that go into 1 cup of coffee.
The main weather contaminants include vectors, virus, pesticides, fertilizers, pesticides, drugs, nitrates, phosphates, plastic, fecal waste, and even radioactive substances. These elements do not always color the weather, making weather pollution invisible on many occasions.
Hello, good night. My name is Alexis Daniel Ortega Padron. Today I will present a little about water scarcity. Mexico is one of the first nations to suffer from lack of water. Not only climate change will influence this problem, but also pulling on the lack of infrastructure to use it efficiently. Or international organization point out that the water crisis that humanity will face toward the so-called day zero of water scarcity could intensify in countries like Mexico. In addition to the effect caused by climate change, there are of other aspects that point access to water resources in the country at risk, such as waste pollution and the lack of public policies for the protection of national acquisition after states such as Baja California and Jalisco was communities of suffered the above of industrial activity adjacent to the main rivers. Morelos and Sonora impacted by the pollution produced by electric generation and mining activity, or Mexico City.